Hey there everybody, hope you're doing great. I'm H of the Stage, musician slash vocal coach, and I gotta tell you that you guys are really making my life easier when it comes to YouTube. You're always leaving suggestions and I appreciate that so much because my job is basically just to pick one. And today's winner is Showgo, You're Gone. Now a lot of you said that everything that I've listened to so far from beatboxing doesn't apply to this guy, or at least that he's completely different. Like, I don't even know how to approach that. I'm not sure what to expect because I kind of have a certain feel when it comes to beatbox. I have a certain sound imagined in my head. Of course, none of these beatboxers were the same. I just don't know what to expect from this guy, but I guess I'm gonna find out.
These familiar moments, oh, will be stuck in my mind. Don't think anymore. I said goodbye, but I never find a way. Oh, and now you're gone.
Amazing.
You're gone.
I love the hits.
You. You come, you come. You come, you come. Pick up, you. Pick up, you. You're gone and stuck in.
This was perfect. Original song. Hell yeah. Dude, everybody should stream this. I don't know, download it from Spotify or whatever, but this is... Ooh, now one thing that I really appreciate about this one is that it's not over the top. And I finally see somebody, I mean, this is the first guy that I'm actually listening to that is not competing against anybody. So he has time to really appreciate the sounds and really make the most of the sounds that he picks. You know, he's not doing anything over the top because the point of this song is not to show off. It's not to make anybody embarrassed. You know, it's not a battle. So he really picks his sounds carefully and they fit so much with the ambience, with everything. I mean, even the visuals of the video, which are not over the top, which are kind of minimalistic, that kind of goes well with the song. And I love the dude singing. I mean, that's the cleanest voice I've heard in a year at least, you know, like he's amazing. I need to re-listen to this. This was epic, and I'm gonna pause it here and there to, you know, pick apart a couple of things that he does. But this was, this was lit. It was, damn, you're gone.
These familiar moments, oh, will be stuck in my mind. Don't think anymore.
Now, the first thing that I loved was that, like the hit in his throat. That just gives it that kind of punchy feel. It's almost like a bouncy sound. I don't know how to describe it otherwise.
Stuck in my mind, don't think anymore.
You know, like a bouncy, almost like a, well, almost like a over-the-top vibrato, but a single vibrato, which is kind of weird. You would never do a single vibrato. But when you do it like this, you can. Now, I apologize to everybody that knows exact terms for these sort of sounds. You know, I'm not a beatboxer, so I'm just trying to describe it in my own way as a vocal coach. So, you know, it wasn't really long ago that I've kind of discovered, let's say, in the real meaning beatboxing. So I'm just learning about this stuff, but I really enjoy the sound making and it's crazy interesting.
I said goodbye, but I never find a way. Oh, and now you're gone.
So I really love how he's singing. I believe that this is his natural sounding voice, meaning he's not switching registers. This should be his chest voice, but it's very light. You know, usually chest voices, especially in male singers, are kind of darker, but his is very light and very breathy. It kind of sounds like falsetto, but it's not in a high register. He's not singing notes that are too high, so I wouldn't say that it's a falsetto. It sounds like a very rounded, very soft chest voice, but this is the first thing that I'm hearing from this guy, so I might be wrong, but I believe it's that. And I really love this trumpet sound that he does. And one thing that he also does is when he returns from the trumpet sound, he's adding what I like to call like a rubber bass sound. It's like a bass that kind of trembles. It's not a thick bass that just goes into one note, but it's basically like you have basically a trembling bass. It's kind of like a bass with a tremolo effect.
I said goodbye, but I never
Focus on the
find a
trumpet
way.
sound.
Oh, and now you're gone.
You know, that returning sound. Maybe I'm wrong when I'm describing some of these things, but to me, it sounds like a reverse sound, like an inhale sound, I think.
Oh, and now
Let me
you're
re-listen.
gone.
I think that that's an inhale sound. Now, I might be wrong again, but I'm just winging it.
You're gone.
I love this. Dude's a genius.
You.
Okay, so he's basically like a studio. He has a studio in his mouth. And it's interesting, like, how much these guys are creative, that they only need themselves. So basically, they're always carrying their instruments with them, which is kind of also dangerous because if you get, let's say, vocal damage or if you get sick, I'm not sure how well they can use their voices like this. Let's say if they have a sore throat. I mean, most of the sounds that they're producing are not really coming from the throat. I mean, except that maybe hit. A lot of this is kind of like a squeaky sound. A lot of it's humming. A lot of singing is humming because basically what you're trying to do when you're singing is you want to avoid adding any kind of additional pressure to your throat and your larynx by humming. So just a quick demonstration. When you're singing, you're kind of trying to hum and sing at the same time. If you're just singing from your throat like that can very easily hurt your throat or at least get it kind of exhausted and drained and it's not good long term. But if you're trying to hum, then sing. For example, when I'm doing vocal warm-ups with my students, I often start by humming, just a simple melody like Now, as we hum, we're basically avoiding letting the tone resonate too much in our throat. And then what we do is find a nice place in the mask area we like to call, and then we open it from there. So basically, let's say you have a tone. So you basically hear like this lid, like this cover that closes your airflow and then opens it. The thing that we basically want to achieve is kind of find that golden middle. You know, you often don't want your vocal position, let's say, too high, but you definitely don't want it too low to start coming from your throat or to add additional pressure to all this area like throat and everything. So basically, we're trying to learn how to sing first by humming. And a lot of things that I hear from this guy is doing just that, like humming and kind of making these squeaky tones that are very up there in your, let's say, almost head voice. So he's using all those kind of resonators and he's just making great use of them. Yeah, like those squeaky notes. Ooh. And I love how he's using his Adam Apple basically for these kind of drum fills. Listen. Okay, not yet. I think I missed that part. Wait a second. You know? It's almost like he's swallowing while he's doing that. Could he be swallowing there? Very interesting. Ah,
pick up,
fire.
you pick up, you.
And this is what I always find interesting. I mean, maybe it's kind of the easy thing to do in beatboxing, but I'm not a beatboxer, so I kind of find it complex. But it's basically to sing and do a kick sound at the same time. So, here.
Pick up, you pick up, you.
And this bass note.
You're gonna stack you.
And I love that. That transition is so good. It's basically like a filter effect. It's like doing a quick high pass filter, then just leaving the lower end. It's, ooh, amazing detail. I love that. I love these high humming notes. I mean, but the trumpet sound is so dead on. It sounds basically like a trumpet sound. If you know the song, you probably know, like Cheerleader from Omi, you know, which kind of sounds like. But he's not making that sound, as far as I know, with his lips and with this lower kind of placement. He's doing it somewhere behind his nose, which is kind of weird, but it sounds perfect. You know? And I love how he's showing every sound with his hands. Just the trumpet sound is everything. It's perfect. It's just a perfect song. Crazy guy. I just wish that it was longer. Subscribe, share the video, and leave suggestions. See you in the next one.